Hey guys, it's Clayton from 316 Creative Works. Hey, listen, if you know me, you know that 316 Creative Works exists to partner with artists, businesses, and churches. One of my good friends is a business guy. It's the Maynard family, and they run a business, and now they're in partnership with us. So that's Precision Door Service. Listen, in case of emergency, I always call Precision Door Service. They are experts in repairing, replacing all your garage doors and overhead doors. They can be reached. They got two numbers. The Indiana side is area code 219 306 8155. Again, 219 306 8155. Now, on the Illinois side, Precision Door Service can be contacted at area code 708 474 6657. The number again is 708 474 6657. You can always get them at precisiongarage-door.com. That's precisiongarage-door.com. Of course, we'll probably have Justin throw a contact card up there for you so you guys can see it if you're watching this. Again, this is Clayton from 316 Creative Works, introducing you to another member of the family, the business of Precision Door Service. Thanks, guys. Thanks for checking us out. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out another 316 podcast. I'm Clayton from 316 Creative Works. Always thanks to Larry and Sandy, our creative producer Esther, our technical producer Justin, and of course the house manager Danielle. We are recording again from the Farmhouse Studios, and this is part 3 of talking with Greg Hitt. Greg's getting a little more comfortable at the table here, and it is, man, I'm so thankful and grateful for you, for your friendship, but for your honesty, and thanks for talking with us. Last time we left with kind of getting into and out of the dark night of the soul, right? We talked about forgiveness.
Huge.
You've gotten forgiveness.
Yes.
You had to give forgiveness?
Yes.
Because along life's way, you've made some mistakes that have hurt some people.
It's way too many.
But also other people have made some mistakes that have hurt you.
I don't see it that way, but I'm sure there have.
You have some old business partners that you care not to discuss too much.
Okay. Those are just,
those are nothing.
Pesky things that get in the way in your life.
So you have 3 kids. You have an ex-wife and a girlfriend, and you started a new career, and you're traveling all over the country, and you become a big deal in the Chicagoland area in a credit card processing company.
Says you, but go ahead.
What's life look like in your mid-40s?
I'm loving life. I am a people person, so credit card sales is awesome. You get to talk to everybody about everything, and I probably take it a little too far and end up with a good friend out of the deal that even though if I don't do business with them, they're my friend down the road. So it was all great. As you know, we have traveled many beaches. We have fished in a boat in different parts of the world together. And again, I'm always just blown away about how blessed I am to this very moment in my life to have done the things that I did to hurt so many people, yet for all those people to be together and still loving and caring and forgiving all these years later, so that I have this peace. It's just, it just blows me away.
We often talk about in here in these studios when we do a talking with, we often talk about the dark night of the soul, because those are the tragic things, right? I mean, but I've had a few, right? So I had a little stint in rehab in 18 years now sober, but alcoholism is a dark night of the soul. I had another one, go into the hospital with a life-changing, life-altering blood disease, parents dying, repurposing the farmhouse into something of different purpose, a different dark night of the soul. Did you ever leave your dark night of the soul?
Ask me that in a different way, Clayton. I'm sorry.
Do you still wrestle with that darkness?
Yes. I don't think it ever leaves you completely, personally. It hasn't for me. The majority of the time, and I just mentioned how at peace I am in life, and I most certainly am, but it creeps. It's there. The shame, the hurt, the hurting people that you love so very much in your life. Of course, it's still there, but it doesn't come out. It doesn't ooze out or get out in any way like it used to. Is that because I control it? I don't know. I think it's just I've let it go. I know that God has forgiven me, and the very second that I asked, and so therefore I'm not concerned. There was a time in my life when I was concerned about forgiveness. Am I ever going to be forgiven?
Yeah.
And then thanks to people in my life that I'm close to, I've learned a lot more about that, and then I was forgiven the very millisecond that I asked. Doesn't mean that I still didn't think that way or it didn't affect me for years and years, but it minimized it to the point where I am today.
So for the last 20 years, you've been in a different career. You've had a second career, and not just a second job. You've had a second career.
Yes.
You've made a lot of money?
In my mind, yes.
You've done well. You've done all right. So here's a strange statement. So recently my mom and dad passed away. And then I took their home and I repurposed it. It's very similar to how I see your life. You had to die, and then you were able to repurpose your life. A new career, an additional family, not a new family, an additional family, new relationships, God restoring the years. Are you living the dream life now?
Absolutely.
No problems, no hiccups.
I'm sorry, no problems.
No problems, no hiccups. Everything is.
Oh, come on. Let's get real. Of course there are hiccups, or of course there are issues. There are things that we don't expect to happen in our lives that aren't pleasant to think about, but they're just small stumbles and stutters compared to what I've been through in my past. In general, in my past, I am king of the world right now. I am happiest as I've ever been.
Yeah, and that really is a thing, isn't it? I mean, it's the dark night of the soul allows a brighter day to be even brighter.
Right. Even though it took me personally many years to understand that. And not that I'm a light bulb clear right now, but in my heart and in all of my being, I couldn't be more at peace, spiritually, emotionally, professionally, my family, with my friends, with my time.
You have a relationship with God?
Yes.
Greg, what's next?
Lunch?
No,
We're
just
going
kidding.
for lunch after this, Clayton, I don't know. I don't ask myself that question much anymore. I do, there's one word that you and I have discussed many years that you can't possibly understand like I do, and that's the word time. Now, you've got your version of it and your past relative to your life, but I've gotten, 18 years on you, I think? 19.
How much older you are than me? Substantially.
Yeah, okay, yes, I'm older.
Substantially.
18 years, to be exact. So, if everything keeps going the way it's going, I can't ask for anything more than I have already. I've been blessed thousands and thousands of time over, and forgiven for so many horrible things, and I'm good. I'm good.
Any Any bucket list things? Anything that you? I mean, here's the thing, Greg. You've had an extraordinary life. Your lows have been pretty low, bro.
Yes, sir.
Pretty dark. I mean, there's some seasons and some wrestling with demons in areas you shouldn't have ever been in. But your highs have been extraordinary.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my life has been kind of like this. Here's a little high, here's a little low, here's a little high, a little low. But yours like, pss, 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 pss.
Okay.
Right. What's something in your future you look forward to? I mean, we're not fortune tellers or anything, but what's something that you want to do?
Of course, travel.
Uh-huh.
I want to see more things that I've seen, and I have been blessed to see some amazing places in the career that I'm in now, and even before. But I learned that my life is better and the people around me's life is better when Greg shows up in the universe.
Yep.
And I hit out a long time.
Yep.
Sometimes, going to work for an hour or two, going home, not going back out the rest of the day.
Why?
Don't want to, lazy, feeling guilty or shameful about something in my past, having issues that day, a little depressed, it kind of sneaks up on you, right? Grabs you a little on occasion still.
So you still wrestle with depression?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it never really goes away. You just learn how to deal with it. I don't feel that I'm depressed now.
Have you had debilitating depression?
Absolutely.
Have you been diagnosed?
Yes, bipolar 2.
And have you taken pills or anything?
Yes. Yes, I've done all that for the last 30 years.
Here's an interesting thought. Another very good friend of mine. She's an artist. She wrestles with some of these issues too. Mm-hmm. I just wonder if, since you'll be at the farmhouse for a couple more days, if you would be interested in coming in with her to discuss mental and emotional health issues. Personally, in your life, how debilitating depression has affected you, and she has a different, similar story. Would you be interested in coming to do a different podcast with us called The Seat at the Table, and we talk about mental and emotional health?
I would be more than happy to do that, because my version of what I have wrestled with in my life to cause these dark days, minutes, hours, weeks, months, when they show up, if there's any way possible, even if I could encourage somebody this much, to help them make any other better decisions going forward relating to that, that would be my purpose.
Or certainly to help people understand that your mistakes certainly do not define you.
Absolutely.
So let's do that. Let's schedule a time for me and you and Kelly to do a show called A Seat at the Table, and the topic will be mental and emotional health. You in?
Well, I'm in, and I feel like I'm an expert at that. So
that's what I need, is experts in that.
You've got it.
I have something for you that I feel you need to understand. You don't always like you. But I will tell you that when I'm with you, I'm a better person. God has gifted you so extraordinarily that you no longer have the right to hide out in your own head. Because if I'm a better person because I'm with you, so are other people. You are so extraordinarily gifted that you need to be with people to give that gift. Other people are better because of you. You no longer have the right to withhold that gift from this world. I would ask you to seriously consider finding new and fresh and fun and creative ways to share your story, to interact with the world, not just Little Rock, Arkansas, not just Chicagoland, not even just America. But you have such an incredible story, even bypassing some of the gory details. It's incredible. And you're so extraordinarily gifted that the world needs to hear your life, how you've overcome, and be inspired and be a better place because of Greg. Will you do that?
I will.
Let's land this thing. I know you have a few, and you don't have to get into it, but I always like to end with this. You have any regrets?
Absolutely not.
You want to change the thing.
I want to.
That's a Chicago thing. You want to
I would want to do that all day. Do I have regrets? Who doesn't? But would I change one single moment, time, thing, issue, place, person? Absolutely not, or I wouldn't be here today talking to you or anybody else, and my life would not be the same, and I cannot even imagine what my life would be like if I wasn't the me that I am today. I like me. For a long time, I missed me. There were times, Clayton, in the last year, in the last 5 years, and it's particularly 20, where when I was going through the bathroom or my bedroom and I would pass a mirror, I would glance over and say ugly things. I don't like you, whatever. And so I finally learned to like myself, and it works. It's amazing. I don't know how I got here, but I'm so thankful that I am. And that's all I know. Everything's couldn't be any better right now. It's not about money. It's not about, God has got my time figured out for me. I don't have to worry about that anymore. My health. I was blessed with going to MD Anderson Hospital a few times last year for some miraculous healing. I'm headed to a Mayo Clinic in a couple of weeks for some things. And most people don't get that opportunity. I'm surrounded by brilliant doctors, brilliant people, brilliant friends, and I don't see how it could be any better. I don't get it. How it could be any better, right?
We always want to end with James Lipton's favorite questions, and then we're going to say goodbye to Greg for talking with, and we're going to plan on a seat at the table with Greg and Kelly. Well, let's do this. Greg, what is your favorite word?
I knew I used to watch. Should have watched that show more often. Love.
What is your least favorite word?
Hate.
What turns you on? Careful. I don't mean kinks and whatevers. I just mean what excites you.
Joy.
What turns you off?
Hate.
What sound or noise do you love?
Birds.
What sound or
Hey, you asked.
No, your questions are the opposites, right? So you love, hate, love, hate. So the next question is, what sound or noise do you hate? I'm assuming it's the noise of dying birds. Right? I'm just kidding. What sound or noise do you hate?
That would be anybody crying out in pain, hurting, grieving. Those noises that I've heard all too many times in my life and been associated with personally and created and caused some of them, and it just wrecks me to my soul.
What profession other than your own would you love to try?
I haven't given that much thought. I don't know.
Public speaker?
I don't think so. Clayton, I don't, public speaking, no, traveling more
You want to be
in
a traveler.
in a way that maybe in groups, and taking people to places that maybe helps encourage them to have a better life, either mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So some sort of tour thing. I don't know.
What profession other than your own do you think you would hate?
something that I could not be around with people or be able to associate, discuss, share, visit, get on their last nerve, just people.
You are a professional pain in the ass.
And thank you very much. I've practiced hard at that.
Let's end with this. If God exists, and we know he does, what do you want to hear God say to you as you meet him?
Welcome.
Welcome.
You did good.
You done good, kid.
I'm proud.
Proud of you.
I'm glad you're home.
Yeah. That's it, right?
Always knew you would be here.
That's what life's about. Is to have God say, welcome home. Hey, this is Clayton from 316 Creative Works, talking about our podcast. Listen, if you like any of this stuff that you saw or you heard, I'm going to give you a couple places where you might find it besides coming in live to the Farmhouse Studios. There's a couple platforms you can find these on. So you can check out Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and SoundCloud. So for the cheap seats in the back there, let me say this one more time. You can go to Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and SoundCloud. You can find it under 316 Podcasts.